Titans Global. Let's go. Started with a vision, two voices in the mix. Max and Link together, building something that'll stick. Every episode we drop, yeah, we're reaching new heights. Titans Global on the map, burning bright every night. From the first recording session to the fans that tune in, we've been grinding every day, yeah, we're destined to win. Titans Global, that's the name, that's the brand, we the fans. Speaking truth through the microphone, messages that we send. Titans Global, that's the movement. Titans Global, feel the power. Titans Global, we keep pushing. Titans Global, this our hour. Titans Global, Max and Link. Titans stronger than you think. Titans Global, that's the way. Titans Global, every single day.
What's up, Titans fans, and welcome to another episode of Titans Global Podcast. I am your host, Maximus Titan Fan, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Link. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man? Good to be here, guys. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Got a little pregame to talk about. Always interesting stuff going on, so make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Most importantly, get in the comment section. This has been a struggling season for us as Titan fans, and we appreciate you for tuning in, so let us know what you think. Let's get right into it.
Absolutely. And we have a lovely game this week against the Seattle Seahawks, which is, total pushover team at 7-3, 1-9. Titans should not be worried about this team. All sarcasm, I hope you understand. We are on Fox again, and I swear to God, if they don't freaking tune it in my area, I will be pissed again, and you will hear another rant from me.
Have you seen any information on that yet? Has that?
I have not.
I don't know when that comes out.
I do know. I read a story, and I don't know if it was a local story or not. Because I live in this area, so I know social media targets you with that kind of crap. And it might have targeted me because it gave me a story about it where people were absolutely pissed. I mean, it wasn't just me. There was a lot of people that got on social media and vented their frustrations at the NFL for doing that. So I'm interested to see if they do it again. And if they do, F them, obviously, because I want to see the Titans game. So hopefully they won't. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah. And like you said, for the Seahawks this year, it's been kind of a pleasant surprise if you're a Seahawks fan. This new version of Sam Darnold that we've seen, Cooper Kupp, always dangerous. So, interesting game. This feels like one of those games we were talking before, and we'll get into the details on it. But like if you are a Seahawks fan, you're looking at this almost like a trap game. Like, don't just stumble up on the road traveling across the country. So yeah, but this also feels like it can just be a complete dog walk by the Seahawks on the Titans. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's gonna eat on this one. So yeah, is that your initial thoughts on this too? Where do you stand going into this?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different, things I guess you could look into about it. But, basically it comes down to the fact that, Seattle has been pretty damn good. Sam Darnold was a huge free agent signing by them in the offseason. JSN is having a hell of a season. That was one of my talking points tonight, and I guess I'll get more into that later. But I don't know. I guess as far as main storylines go, I think the Seahawks just want to have a get-right game against the Titans at 1-9. They had a awful game against – who the hell did they play last week? I can't even remember. Rams. Yeah, they played the Rams and had 4 interceptions by Darnold. So I think they wanted just a get-right game against the Titans, whether it actually happens or not, I don't know, but that's what I think is going to go on. And it looks like Link is having some technical issues, and that's fine.
There we are. Yep.
Oh,
my apologies.
Right.
No, we had this in the pre-show. Might have to go cameraless tonight, so I do apologize, but we'll make this work.
Yeah, we'll do whatever we need to. The show must go on. As far as I don't know, man. This is a hard game for me, dude. It's a normal time, so we don't have to, worry about our dinner getting interrupted. I don't have to worry about cooking in the middle of the damn game. Fox, like I said, you better have it in my area. 13 and a half points though by the Seahawks. So it's by all normal reality, they should cover that spread.
I mean, does
So
that even feel like enough to you? Like, I don't know. This feels like it could get away kind of quickly. I don't hate that number. And again, I think it's probably going to be ending up one of the biggest favorites of the week against the Titans, which it feels like that's been kind of an ongoing thing this year. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad number when you look at how Seattle stacks up. The one thing you're looking for in this is interceptions, but possible they cover that 13 and a half for me.
yeah, I don't. I expect them to cover the 13 and a half. And as a matter of fact, if I was a betting man, I would even go with the over, which I'm not a betting man.
Mm.
So I don't know if you want to follow that advice or not. But and I've not been great this season as I last was last season. I was actually pretty damn good at the over under. I'm not this year, so there you go.
See, this is why I won't bet the Titans. And I've had that instilled in me for the longest time because it just feels like such a lose-lose situation, especially in this, because I feel like I could get some of these right, but it just kind of hurts my soul to put money against them. Like that's the worst part of this whole thing.
Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you. I make a rule for myself not to bet on the Titans because
Yep.
I have lost quite a bit of money over the last 3 years betting on the Titans. So I just
Yeah.
make it a general rule now that even if I think they're going to do good, bad, whatever, I just don't bet on them because, whatever I think they're going to do is completely backwards. They're going to do something completely different. If I think they're going to win, they're going to lose. So, yeah, I don't know. As far as spending money, I just would not, I'm not the betting man. Well, I went off on a little tangent there, but that's okay. Um, yeah. So as far as the other another storyline that I think is real important, Titans obviously are in a different kind of phase of our season. We're no longer in the trying to win phase. We're more in the trying to figure out who we got, what we got in them phase.
Yep.
So a little bit different of a game that we're playing right now, and our defensive backs are a little bit lacking. So I do expect, like we were talking, I expect big numbers from JSN and
So
Darnold trying to
it
get right.
if you're this coaching staff, I mean, is this a zone type of game for you? Are you taking, is there one specific cornerback you can point to on this team right now and say you cover Jackson Smith? Like, is that, I
No,
mean, do you trust anybody at this point? I don't either. And that's
no.
my fear is they're going to stick a guy like Jalen Armour Davis, like a prove it type of guy on him. And it's just going to get embarrassing. I mean, I think we saw that a little bit with Nico Collins last week. So that's my fear is that it just gets ugly. But I'm with you. Like I just, and again, I keep going back to this, but this Jarvis Brownlee Jr. trade, like I get it. He wasn't a fit, whatever. But like that was the one, and maybe I'm saying this because he's not here. Maybe, I admit that, but it's like that's the one guy that I could point to at this point in the season and know he's going to come out and play hard. And he may not be perfect, but he is going to do his damnedest to lock down who's ever in front of him. If that means a penalty, so be it. Like he's not giving up easy catches. And so I don't know. I just wish you don't get rid of a guy like that, but here we are.
I will say this: for all the hate on Twitter that J.C. Latham has received last week after having what I
Mhm.
called a career game. Everybody wants to bring in those four penalties and say that just shows that he didn't have a good game. For all the
Mhm.
people for that argument, you can't then go back and say, well, we shouldn't have traded Jarvis Brownlee Jr. because that was exactly his problem. I mean, you even said it. I'd rather a guy take the penalty than let the guy receive, and get more yards. Which I understand that idea. I get that concept, but at the same time, you have these people that are saying, "Oh, we shouldn't have traded Jarvis Brownlee Jr." and J.C. Latham is trash. You
Yeah,
can't use those
that's fair.
two at the same time. That
Yeah.
either it's one or the other. And that's really my main argument for that. But I don't know.
Well, the one, and this is just me playing devil's advocate. I think the only difference there for me, like if I had questions about JC Latham, part of that is because one of the biggest leaders on your team in Jeffrey Simmons has almost publicly called him out at points this season. So you didn't hear that about Brownlee. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell the dude's kind of meshed with Brownlee. He had a good relationship with the coaching staff, however
Yep.
bad that coaching staff may have been. But like that's one thing you never questioned was his effort. And when you start questioning effort and you're a 1-9 team, like that's where you see people's true colors. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to think Jeffrey Simmons is right about some of these dudes not giving everything they got at practice. But when that comes out and you're a leader, like it just all this kind it's kind of like a web. All this kind of ties in on each other. But that's the one difference with me with Late. And I'm not saying he has a character issue where he's not giving his all at practice. It's just those are questions that arise when we're at this point.
No, I get it, and it's fair. At this point, we're looking at the young guys trying to figure out what we have in them,
Yep.
and that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing this season. So,
That's all it's
um,
about anymore.
yeah, I
I
was gonna
mean,
say. So I would expect at the end of the season, you have formed an opinion on J.C. Latham and his game, one way or the other. Whether you think it's good or bad, I think you form an opinion, and I think it's
yep.
the same with all the young guys. I think AO Manor right now is getting an opinion that is kind of Calvin Ridley-ish, dropping passes and stuff, but it doesn't look like he's going to play this week anyway. So, and talking about penalties, since we're on J.C. Latham, the Titans I think are number one or number two in the most penalties in the NFL. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Should have probably looked that stat up before I got on here, but I didn't. Had limited time this evening because crazy things. But anyway, uh, the penalties have been a huge problem for the Titans,
Yep.
and at some point you expect that to stop, or at least get better.
Eventually. Yeah.
At some point, you expect like the offensive line to become meshed enough to understand that quarterback's going to change the cadence. You know what I mean? And you just need to be ready for that. Or you're going against guys that are really high profile NFL players, which should be just about every day in the NFL. But anyway, you would expect these penalties to be cleaned up, especially by now. We're over halfway through the season, but really want to see them get cleaned up. If this is still an issue, like if we're still talking about J.C. Latham penalties in week 16, then I think we have a different conversation on our hands. And that's the exact same thing we said about Will Levis, which came true. So I hope that J.C. Latham figures that out and cleans that up.
Well, here's my thing with the penalties. And yeah, it's a lot of Latham, but I mean, this is across the entire offensive line as a whole. I mean, the false starts, and look, I just talked about what Jeffrey Simmons said. I mean, he put it out there. What, 4 false starts on Friday when that's essentially like a walkthrough? Like this, that's just a coached thing. So I don't understand. I mean, this has not been a problem throughout the rest of the NFL. This seems like a Titan specific thing. And I'm just trying to get in my head, like, why is that? Why does this seem like no matter who's here, no matter what coaching staff is in place, that's just something that absolutely can't get fixed? I mean, what's your insight there?
I'll be honest, I think it's just poor management. Um, I mean, we already know that John Robinson wasn't a great GM. Now, I think his people management was great, and I even think that Vrabel. No, I can't
Yeah, but
say that
John
about Vrabel.
Robinson's not teaching them snap counts. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Oh
goes
yeah,
deeper than talent. Like it's
well, it's
I don't know.
it's just like you were saying in the beginning of the season where coaches have to hold players accountable. It's the exact same thing as positional coaches. You
Yeah.
can't be afraid that, if you're Tracy Rocker, you can't be afraid of Jeffrey Simmons or Trayvon, Sweat saying some, or Trevondre, excuse me, Sweat saying some bad about you to the head coach, because you made him do an extra drill or whatever. You know what I mean? And I think that goes a little bit into it. I think the prima donna thing comes out a little,
Yeah. Absolutely.
especially when you have a head coach like Brian Callahan who kind of coddles these players, or
Exactly.
at
Yep.
least that's what I get from that.
Yep.
So I think we have right now a dangerous, we'll call it culture. We have a
Yep.
dangerous culture in the Titans locker room, and I think that that's why I have adamantly said ever since we fired Brian Callahan, and there was even a question of who should be the next Titans head coach, whoever it is needs to be a strong character guy who holds
Yes.
people accountable for what they do and holds their positional coaches accountable too. Like I guarantee you, Fassel doesn't have the same problems out of his players that Denard Wilson does.
Yep.
And I don't think that's really, I guess some people would say, well, that's because he's special teams. He's dealing with people that, are just happy to be on the team. I don't think that's true. I don't think that the hunger factor has anything to do with it. I think it's just the fact of a different approach to coaching. We heard from Chim after he got that touchdown off the punt return that one of the biggest things was at the beginning of the season, Fassel challenged everybody to break this record,
Yep.
and we saw it. I mean, we saw the blocking get better. We saw the crowd to start opening up, and we saw the bigger return. We knew. I mean, hell, there was what, two returns called back. So, I mean,
Oh
we
yeah.
knew it
Yeah.
was
You
just a
saw it.
matter of
Yeah.
time before he was going to break one, and that's
Yep.
because of Fassel. I wholeheartedly believe that's Fassel. You put any other special teams coach that we've had in the last 5 years, we'll say, in the
Mhm.
same situation that Fassel was in, and we have completely different results.
Yep, 100%. No, I absolutely agree with you there. And the one thing you mentioned, for me, it's the only thing scarier than having a bad culture is having no culture. And I just feel like this team right now, like this is what you get when you have a players ran team. Because that's
Yeah,
what it feels like. It feels
yeah,
like the
I
players make
agree.
the decisions. It's kind of a Wild West, every guy for themselves mentality. Like, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what it feels like. It feels like everybody's on an island. So I'm with you. I think the next head coach, no matter offense, defense, new, old, whatever, like it has to be a leader. It has to be a strong voice. And look, I love Callahan. I get it. I love Callahan. I thought he does have a good offensive mind. He just wasn't the right fit for what this team needed at the time. Um,
Exactly.
and when you've got a rookie quarterback and you've got a young team and you have this much roster turnover, like we've talked year over year, how much roster turnover we've seen. And that goes back to, draft, retain, develop. And that's just something that's been lacking. So when you have this many young guys and you've got a new generation and you're looking for somebody to build a culture, it just feels like the players kind of took that upon themselves, and I don't know that that's the best recipe for success with how young these players are.
Yeah. Speaking of developments, okay, somebody actually brought this to my attention. I have to give a little bit of credit to somebody else. I don't really remember who, so I'm sorry. But it was on Twitter, I know that. But somebody brought into the argument that the Titans O line has actually gotten a lot better over the last 3 weeks. Obviously skipping the bye week, we're talking about Indianapolis, uh, well, no, I guess it goes one more game than that. Anyway, point is they brought up a bunch of stats, and I'm a stat nerd, so I was following along with what they were saying, and they were actually making a good point. And the reason, or the feel that you got from the Indianapolis game was, well, the offensive line looked better, but that's because they were going up against the Indianapolis Colts, which I mean has a okay defensive line, but nothing really to talk to mom about back at the house. But the Texans did. The
Mhm.
Texans are top five in the NFL defensive line. Guarantee it. Don't know the exact stat, but I guarantee you they're in the top five. Seahawks are fourth in the NFL against pass rush. And the
Yep.
Titans held up pretty. I mean, I still feel like the Titans' offensive line held up pretty well last week. They
Yeah.
gave Cam enough time. Cam was taking more about what he got. He took off when he needed to, which, by the way, everyone who uses the argument Cam Ward should not run because he could get injured is a moron. If you did not see how he handled that, he slid down. He still got the first down. Hell, one, he got like 30 yards or something like that off of
Hmm.
it and slid down. Didn't take a shot at all. So, that's a stupid argument. Um, but I do feel like if the Titans' offensive line has a good game against the Seattle Seahawks, we might start seeing the development of this offensive line finally coming together. And I would
Yeah.
love it if the penalties were down, but even if the penalties are still there, if they can keep Cam clean through most of the game, I'll be happy.
Yeah. No, and I agree. And I think, look, that falls on Cam too. Like, it's not just about the offensive line. We just haven't seen the chemistry yet. It just feels like the offensive line doesn't know where he's going sometimes. And sometimes I don't think Cam knows where Cam is going. Like, he just tries to make things happen. And, we've seen him make decisions that maybe were on him and not on the offensive line, but I've also seen guys on this line get blown by like within seconds. So, like, it goes both ways, and I think it's just building that chemistry. Um, and I mean, this is the best way to do it, I guess, is just try stuff. But I think it's also on the coaching staff. Like, it's all three phases. Like, they've got to put Cam in positions. We talked about it in the post game. The best we've seen of Cam this year has been the no huddle, hurry up
Yep.
offense, 2 minute drill, rolling him out of the pocket, designed rollout so the offensive line knows where he's going to be. Like, I think that's when we've seen him at his best, and that's honestly when we've seen the offensive line at its best. Like, that goes hand in hand. So I feel like when he takes command, we see good things happen. I just want to see more of that. Don't overcoach. That's kind of what I'm going to preach this week.
Yeah, and expect a huge uptick in targets on the tight ends this week. We've
Yeah.
been screaming it all year. Get the tight ends more involved, keep them more involved throughout the game. And I think they don't really have a choice this week. So
Hmm.
I feel like you will see a huge uptick in targets to Helm and Chigakonkwo. I think they're both big factors in this game,
Yep.
if we move the ball at all. I guess that's kind of mean. But anyway, both teams injuries. We'll talk a little bit about injuries, I guess. Both teams have injuries. Titans are dealing with a lot of injuries, especially to wide receivers. We know that plight. Daryl Baker Jr. is another starter that's going to be probably held out of this game. Xavier Woods is not going to be probably playing this game at all.
Hmm.
On the Seattle side, you got Torrey Holton and Trice Knight that are both probably not going to be in this game. So, I guess there's injuries on both sides, but really the Titans are, in a time when we're trying to help our quarterback develop into, something better and have some kind of consistency for him. Having all two, maybe three wide receivers out is not great. And I do want to talk a little bit about the Chimray DK injury because all week I have thought he was in concussion protocol because that's what it was originally reported, but
Right.
he's not. He's not in concussion protocol. He was listed with a chest injury, which
Yep.
he has practiced fully in the last 2 days. So I think personally DK is fine. I think he's going to play this week. Don't I, I don't know if they use him on returns though,
Yeah.
and I think that'll be interesting to see if Prochet is called up, which he already is. I think he was already called up if I'm not mistaken. But I think that's why they did that, was to try to keep him well lubed up in the return game so that they can take less off of Chim, excuse me, and use him more in the offense.
Yeah, so you're transitioning right into something that's been the big question on people's mind after some Cam Ward statements at the podium. But that's definitely something I want to bring Scoob in for, and I think now's the perfect time if we want to get into that, do a little scoops. I can retry my camera, and we'll hit this Restrepo rumors.
Yeah, all right. So let's go ahead. We're about halfway through the show, so well, not even, but yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll go to a break real quick, a little 35, 40-second sponsorship ad because we got to love the sponsors, and then we'll get to Scoop, and then we'll get back with all three of us to talk about what we all want to talk about, at least a little bit today, and that's Xavier Restrepo. So hang out.
What's up, Titans fans? Maximus Titan fan here. Are you in need of professional excavation services? Look no further. Red Zone Builders has the expertise, experience, and equipment to handle all or any excavation project, big or small. Whether you need land clearing, site preparation, trenching, foundation excavation, or any other excavation services, they have you covered. Their team of skilled professionals work diligently to ensure your project is completed safely, efficiently, and to your satisfaction. Trust the experts at Red Zone Builders to get the job done right.
Hey, Titans fans, Max, Link, how's everybody doing tonight? It's been a 1-9 Titans. It's been pretty rough. Just can't seem to figure it out right now. But with all the bad that the Titans have been doing in the games, the thing they did pretty good this weekend was with the military. Their salute to service game, they had a lot of veterans out there, and they had the 101st out there, and Trace Atkins sung a song for the veterans at halftime, and they even reunited a little family from a soldier, brought him home and reunited him on the field with his son and daughter. It was pretty cool moment. A lot of people were crying and stuff. So it was one good thing the Titans did this weekend was pretty cool with the whole salute to service thing, which was pretty awesome. So after that, I guess we'll talk about the Seahawks. Man, I don't know. It's gonna be a crazy game because they're playing pretty tough, and we're not playing tough at all, especially with all these backup wide receivers that are coming into this game this week. So we'll see how it goes, and tighten up, everybody.
All right, let's just talk for a second about how dire straits the Titans are in right now.
Right.
My boy here, the most positive person I've ever met in the world, the biggest Titans fan I've ever met in the world. My boy here is sounding depressed as shit, man. He's
I'm
just
tired, too.
Not tough at
tired,
all.
man.
Not tough at all.
No,
Yeah.
I feel you,
You're
bro.
right, but you're
it's
100% right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. Everybody at
I've
work
been
feels
working-
bad for me, and I'm just
I've been
like,
working a lot of hours these last couple days. I'm pretty tired.
I feel you
for
on
sure.
that.
And
man.
hey, and the worst part about like football is our escape. Like you got to understand that as fans,
Exactly.
football is
Yeah.
100% our escape, and it's just so hard to have a hard week trying to get things done, trying to get schedules met. And then you get there to Sunday and you're so happy. It's the last day of the weekend. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to, you want to eat a little breakfast. You want to drink a little drink. And then these Titans come on and just break your heart week after week after week. It will literally break a person. So from me to you, Scoop, I'm on your level. I understand.
Man,
Yeah, I
this
don't know
is-
how many times I've seen people just online right now being like, "That's it, I'm
Yeah.
out."
Oh,
I
I'm
love you
never
guys.
gonna
I'll
say
see you
that's
next
it.
year.
Oh, I know.
Man,
Yeah.
it's rough.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
Can't
rough.
give up on them because anything can happen. But with that being said, you mentioned these receivers coming in.
Yep.
Big story on everybody's mind this week. Cam Ward's at the podium. He gets asked, could this be the week we see your boy Restrepo from Miami? They've got the connection. Cam, without just saying it, basically says it. Like, if he gets his opportunity, I'm going to find him. What's our thoughts here? I want to get from y'all first. Like, how we feeling about the Restrepo project?
They keep saying there's a connection, but truthfully, he hasn't thrown. How long has it been since he's thrown a ball to Restrepo? Truthfully,
I mean, I don't know what they're doing in practice, but you could argue training camp. Yeah.
So how does he have anything with Restrepo? He has more with the other receivers now than he does Restrepo.
I mean,
I don't get that part. I don't get that part with people because truthfully, he probably hasn't thrown a ball to Restrepo in 5 months.
Yeah, but I think I want to let Max speak too, but I think the thing for me is it just gives you something else to look for this season. It's a little bit of a glimmer of hope of something different. The change for the sake of change at this point, just getting a new face out there. I don't even know like what I expect from Restrepo. The one thing I'm interested in is to see if Cam forces it his way if he's on the field. Like that's going to be a little telling. But I don't know what I expect. Like I don't know what a successful game for Restrepo is. I don't care if the dude gets 3 targets. I just want to see 3 catches. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking for the consistency.
He does play, he's going to be wide receiver number 5 in the game.
I almost wonder with this coaching staff if they try to get him
sprinkle him in.
Yeah, like I don't want to say a gadget play because you're not drawing stuff up for him, but something where like he has a route where he might be your second option. He's running some kind of deep post, like something like that, where it's just get him involved and then see if there's something there. Like I think that's the route I would take.
Right.
Yep. And I'll say this. This is my whole argument to the whole damn thing. Restrepo would have caught that fucking ball last week, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows.
I don't know.
That was
everybody knows.
Nobody would have caught that ball.
I don't.
Everybody was expecting Mason Kinsey to be Randy Moss right there, and he's just not Randy Moss, man.
Look, that's the point. That's the point right there. Is Mason Kinsey? He has been around for what? 20
years,
almost 6,
something like that. Yeah,
it's literally like 5 or 6 off seasons. He has been on our practice squad, which tells you everything you need to know right there.
Right.
We are in roster evaluation mode. None of our coaches are going to retain their damn jobs. So what does it matter? Throw the kid out there and see what happens. The worst thing that's going to happen is he's going to do what every other receiver has done on this damn team and drop a ball.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Put him out there. I mean, the best thing that could happen is him and Cam actually do have chemistry, and he does actually catch everything that's thrown his way, and he still has that 21-mile-an-hour speed he's talking about that he has mentioned 3 times this week in interviews.
Yeah.
So did anybody see it though?
No, and he couldn't get it done in the 40. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the 40.
No, I'm just picking on him.
This is a great case though as to why some agents tell their players, look, don't go to the damn combine right now. You know, you're not in the physical. You know, you're not a 40 guy. You're not a track guy. You're a football player. Yeah. You perform well in pads. You might not perform well in shorts. It's a little different, you know. And then he's a utilitarian wide receiver. He's not the stretch the field burner guy. He's the X. You know, he's the guy that's your possession receiver.
And it's interesting you say that because here's best case scenario for me. Here's best case scenario. Titans get in these 4th and 3 situations. These 3rd and 5 situations, 3rd and 6 situations. That's when you need a guy who, you know, if you give him a 7-yard route, he can break on it and catch the ball. Like, and that's your hope. Like, that's your best case scenario for Restrepo. I'm not saying the dude's going to be Tyreek Hill. I'm
Yep.
just saying if he can be I mean, we just saw one here. If he can be a young Tyler Lockett, where he's just available, he's the number two or the number three that you depend on. Like, that's best case scenario. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And here's the one, like, the credit I'll give you with Mason Kinsey. He's been here forever. He's been on the practice squad. I know what Mason Kinsey is. You know, that's my thing, is I know what he is. I don't know what Restrepo is on the field. I know he may struggle in practice. That's why we haven't seen him. But then this brings me to my next point, and I kind of just thought of this off the top. Like, you had said something about Slater coming into these games on the offensive line 2 weeks ago. I wasn't on board then, but, you know, you're right. We're in talent evaluation mode. Like,
Yeah.
I don't – maybe you try it. Like, I hate that, because you want the consistency. You want to build the chemistry, but you are in evaluation mode.
This is our 4th losing season in a row.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, nothing we can do at this point to make a winning season. So we might as well see what we got in the young guys. See what kind of chemistry, like you said, see what kind of chemistry JC and Slater can make next to each other.
Might
Or
as well.
Slater and Cush. See what they look like. See what Restrepo looks like. I mean, you already got Kevin Winston, Marcus Harris. I mean, you've got all these players that weren't expected to be starters this year that are thrust in these positions. I'll say this: if Restrepo isn't called up this week, you might as well forget it, because he's never going to make it.
Yeah.
The Titans clearly don't, at least this season. He's not going to make it this season, because the staff clearly doesn't have faith in him, and they are sold out on him. If they don't bring him up for this game, and I will almost be insulted, you know.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I watched a lot of camp tape. I watch a lot of preseason tape. I don't see the constant hate for him. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't know why he's not even used. And I guess people say, you know, like one guy brought up on my social media, well, he was passed over by 32 teams 7 times in a row. Look, man, like I said, he had a bad 40 time. He had a bad combine. That
He's
happens
still not
to
picked
kids.
up by a team either. I mean,
Yeah. No, you're right. And to kind of speak to Scoop here and play that devil's advocate, like, you're 100% right. And there's obviously something there. I mean, again, we don't see practice. We don't know what that is. But for him to be passed on, and it felt like Cam kind of put a good word in for him almost. So I don't know. But again, you just don't know exactly what you got till he's on the field. And if he fails, he fails. I mean, worst case scenario, he's right back where he started. You know what I'm saying?
He's just not a prototypical receiver. He's a shorter guy. He's got shorter arms. And, you know, if you look at his 40 time, he's slow. So all three of those things are knocks against him, you know, and the fact that, you know, I don't know. I just don't. I just don't understand
Jim
why
White
you don't
said
give
he
him
was
this
still
work.
having trouble separating from corners and practice squad.
Well, and
But
that's
see,
not
that's the
saying a
thing,
lot,
though.
because
You
look
can-
at the corners he's going up against. Like,
I know.
that's even worse.
Well, I mean, even though, I mean, if you can still make the catch, though, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, if you can make the
Yeah.
contested catch, and that's what I'm really looking for out of Restrepo, because that's what he did in college.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And-
I'm
and
going to
the-
try to get off that.
Well,
Oh, go
no,
ahead.
the one thing I want to say is, like, we'll see, you know, like, that's all
Yeah.
I want to be able to say at the end of the day is,
Exactly.
well, we saw, like, we know. That's just where I'm at with it. And look, it's like Titans fans to want to root for the undrafted,
underdogs.
you know what I'm saying? Because who are
We
the
love
Titans?
the
Like, that is
undrafted.
because that's what the Titans are. Like, it's the underdog mentality. That's what's been in Nashville since they got here. It's you know, you've seen a lot of dudes come through here and prove themselves. Like, that's what the Titans are. So if nothing else, just enjoy the little glimmer of hope, you know, in Restrepo might start. Like, if that's what it takes to be happy at the end of the day, I'm going to take what I can get.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm going to try to just smooth right out of that. But Cam Ward, has been thrown to the wolves this season. We have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL. As the first round overall draft pick, that is a really unlucky card to pull for the
Weren't we
Titans.
supposed to have the easiest schedule?
I mean, that is kind of the way it's supposed to be set up, but yeah, it did not work out that way at all. So it's been a rough season for him already, but he has shown a little bit of growth and development, especially in the last game. I feel like he looked a lot better last week than he has in previous games. So I'm interested to see how he takes that forward. But the turnovers, that's the big thing. That's the glaring thing that bothers me when I think about Cam Ward and all the positive things that I see. It's just this glaring turnover issue. And you can say what you want about offensive line or it's this or it's that, but it doesn't matter what it is. You
It's
got
plagued
to
him his
stop
whole
the turnovers.
career.
Yeah,
High
you got
school,
to stop the
college,
turnovers,
now
man.
in the NFL.
So that's something I want to see in this game, though. I'd love to see if he went through an entire game turnover free, which is a freaking stupid thing to say about a starting quarterback who you think is your franchise quarterback, but I think that would be a huge step in his game to go through one.
Can you
Scoob
call
made
him
it.
that yet, though? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know
Well,
if you can use the F word with him yet.
Yeah, and Scoo makes a good point. Like, here's the thing: he's had turnover issues since high school, but the key to Cam Ward is he's always been able to find ways to overcome that. You know what I'm saying? His play is so good, his arm angles
Right.
are so good. When he has the turnovers, he's able to brush it off and go back on the field like nothing happened. And we've seen a little bit of that this year. I don't think he's been able to adjust to NFL talent. I think that's been the biggest thing. And that's an adjustment he's got to find. And
Yep.
I still have faith in that because if you look at him in college, he's always been able to elevate players around him. But that's the hardest thing to do in the NFL because you are only as good as your worst player because it's 22 guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to be an adjustment that I think he can fix. I can sit here and say all day, I wish they'd have traded back and put talent on this football team before they went and got a quarterback, but that's not what they did. And here we are. And all we can do is make the best out of this situation. And that's what it's going to take is just good coaching, good development, and put him in positions where he succeeds. Like we talked about earlier in the show, let him roll out so the offensive line knows where he's going to be. Put him in 2-minute drills. Let him go hurry up. Like if you get that first down, that's where the Titans have so much trouble is they just can't get over that hump of that first down to get into a rhythm. And then you're putting your defense back on the field and they're tired. So if they can get that first down and then go tempo, I just want to see what happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if they would just do better all around on first down, then they would probably see a lot more offensive success. Shifting gears a little bit, though, I do want to talk about JSN. Guy has been freakish. I think part of it is the fact that Darnold really zeroes in on a favorite wide receiver, but clearly he's doing well. 1146 receiving yards. The next closest receiver was George Pickens, I think, at 908 yards. That's like 238 yards difference between number one and number two.
I was surprised
like
to see Pickens
hell
that
of a
far.
game.
I didn't think he was going to be that good of a receiver.
Yeah.
Man, you say what you want about George Pickens off the field, but on the field, the dude is a star.
No, he's done more than I thought he was going to do.
I mean, he is a star.
You get in the right offense, and that's what happened. I mean, look at Darnold. He's the same way. Like, you get in the right offense, you get with the right coach, and good things happen. It's just finding the right system.
We don't have a corner to cover that man Sunday.
I told you, bro. Like, what? So I asked Max this question. Like, is there a corner on this team that you're putting on lockdown coverage? Or, I mean, you're just playing zone, right?
A wide receiver has gotten a game.
I think we're about to find out. I think we're about to find out.
376, I think.
Because I really believe he could break that record Sunday.
I just feel bad for Denard Wilson, like to that point, because like,
They've
what do you
taken everything
do?
from him.
What do you do? I mean, who like you tell me to go cover this guy? Like, who am I going to get to cover it? It just, I don't know, man. Some of the decisions in the roster management,
Baker's not fast enough to cover him,
no.
and number 18 just doesn't have the awareness
Baker
to cover him.
ain't. Baker
I
probably
just
ain't playing.
don't. I
Holy
just don't know,
shit!
man.
Baker's not. Go ahead.
Baker's not gonna play, but
Yeah,
I was just thrown back on how freaking close I was on the single game NFL receiver. All-time leader is
Megatron?
336 yards by Flipper Anderson
Oh,
of the Los Angeles Rams in 1989.
fair
how
enough.
many yards?
336 yards.
Didn't
against the New
Megatron
Orleans
almost
Saints.
beat that in like a Thanksgiving game years ago? Like, didn't
I was
he
gonna
get
say,
real close?
I feel like people have gotten pretty darn close to that. Yeah, Megatron had 329 yards
Yeah.
against Dallas. in
Yeah, that was a
2013.
Thanksgiving game. Yep, he got real close. I remember that being a big deal.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know, man.
everybody else is not even in this century, dude. Like
Yeah.
1985, 1945, 1950. I mean, some
I
of
don't
these
know,
numbers
man. I
go
hope
crazy.
he
hey,
doesn't, but man,
So
he
that's an
might get
interesting
close.
stat. But
I hope not.
if you
I
want to
just-
know how I say you stop somebody like JSN, is you have to pressure the quarterback. You have to keep him under
Yeah.
a constant state of pressure, which is
And
something
I
we've
feel like they
actually
need to
gotten
get
a little
on
bit
him
better
and
at
push
over the
him.
last few weeks.
You know,
Yeah.
that first 5 yards.
Another
they need to be
person they
aggressive
need to
with
get
him.
on and push
Right.
is Anthony Bradford. He's their starting right guard. If you think we have guard issues, go watch some tape on this bro. Homeboy is 78th out of 80 guards in the NFL. His PFF score is like 48.6 or something like that.
Jeff is
Freaking
going to eat on him.
Okay,
Yeah.
So question. We talked about the cornerbacks and how, they are incapable of this. Other than
Yeah.
Simmons, who is your best pass rusher right now on this team?
Oh God.
Pass rusher. Pass rusher
Who's the other
specifically.
guy? Oh, well, shit. We got rid of the guy that had 4 sacks.
Thank you. Exactly. Roster management. Thank you. I mean, it's Arden Key. It's Arden Key.
Yeah.
And that's really sad to say, but it's Arden Key.
I feel like Arden Key and Jihad Ward are close.
Yeah,
But
Ward is up there.
I have to
And
give a
Cedric
little bit to
Gray-
Jihad Ward.
Gray
dude.
has got some pressures, too. He don't
Gray
have many
has-
sacks, but he's
Yeah,
got some
but I don't want to
But
be
that's not his
blitzing my
job.
best
Exactly.
linebacker. Yeah,
Exactly. That's
to the
not his
quarterback
job.
just to hit. It's
Yep.
like when they used to blitz Roger McCreary all the time. Yeah, he got home a lot, but damn it, I don't want to give up my best slot. Don't
Yes.
do that.
Yep.
So
100%.
yeah, I agree with you that that Cedric Gray, Cody Barton have been in there, but I want to see more of Trevondre Sweat. On I have to, like I said last week, I had to eat a little bit of crow with the Arden Key situation because he showed up. I hope that continues, but
Right.
yeah, I was gonna say we all know that's not gonna work because
I believe it
Every
when I
other
see it.
game.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. That's exactly the truth. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the storylines I wanted to go over tonight. I'm sure we'll have some little wrap up stuff if you want to talk about. Let's do a score prediction.
Yeah, I was gonna say predictions. Before we even do score, so Restrepo might be coming in. Just quick pose of a question to you guys. Let's say Restrepo is brought up. Is he the most interesting player you're watching this week? I know Max has answered,
Absolutely.
but I'm curious on Scoops. Like, is there somebody else on this team you're still looking at more than Restrepo this week?
Like 6 guys.
Exactly. See? Yeah.
I'm not on the Restrepo train like everybody
Yeah,
else.
Link
is.
said
So-
Max, shut up.
He's an undrafted.
So that but
he's
that
an
being
undrafted
said,
guy that barely I don't know. I'm not big on him. if he, I want him to do good, yeah. But I'm just, I don't know. I'm not on this
So
X train.
that being said, like what are like at this point in the season, what are you still most curious about? Which player on this team are you still trying to learn the most about?
Man, Cedric Gray, the rookie
Okay.
safety, Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons, Cam. I'm screaming for Cam every play. You know, I
Yeah.
give Cam a lot of hell, but at the games, you can ask Max, it's go Cam, let's go Cam, come on Cam,
Yeah.
do it Cam. So it's always going to be Cam and Spears too. And I've been hearing a lot this week about Helm might get some more playing time than usual
So
too. So
which one of these rookies are you most confident in at this point in the season? Like
man,
who's earned it the most for you?
I'm confident with almost all of them, really. I mean, I know Isle Manor's dropped off a little bit. He's in his little rookie lull, but I'm really proud of all the rookies, pretty much. You know, and even they said that Superman's coming back maybe this week too. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But yeah, for the most part, I'm happy with all the rookies, and I'm happy with a lot of the second year guys too. So
Yeah. For me, the rookies is Helm. I think he stood out
right,
the most. I mean, I think he's head and shoulders
and
above
DK
this
too.
class.
DK's right there with him.
On special teams, absolutely, 100%. I'm with you there. I think
I feel like
all around player. I think
right.
Helm's done the most for me to this point. Like that's
Simmons,
who I've been most impressed with lately.
Skoronsky, and DK will be Pro Bowlers.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, that's my
I
and
can see
maybe
that.
Gray too. Gray might make it too. So I think we might
For
have 4
me,
Pro Bowlers on the team.
Max,
one
who's
of the
yours?
most exciting players to watch in this game is going
Yeah,
to be
Gray
Kevin
is.
Winston.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Winston. I mean, I put out one on social media today that showed Kevin Winston and his impact he had on the running game.
yeah.
And
Him and Gray
I
both.
plan on. I was gonna say I plan on doing one on coverage, but the running game was what I had, so that's what I threw out there. And let me just say, after going through the tape, that kid has it.
I just
Yeah,
want
he
I
him
can
to stay
ball.
mean,
healthy.
holy crap, man! Has he got a trigger? I mean, as soon as he knows it's going to be a run play, he is gone, 100%, 100 mile an
Right.
hour. It was impressive. It was impressive
Like
to watch that
right.
game. If you haven't watched the video, go out there and watch it. It's on, TikTok,
Like Coach
YouTube.
Mack says, he's very good at key and diagnosing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ceiling to me for him is super super high on
Yeah.
Winston. The
Yeah.
floor is Tajay Spears. Really good player, super talented, makes plays on the field, but can't stay healthy. That's the one. And I'm not saying he hasn't been healthy. I'm just saying that was the fear coming out of college. That's why
Right.
he was where he was when the Titans got him. If the Titans can flip that narrative, prove everybody wrong that he can stay healthy,
Can he be
his
Jeffrey
ceiling
Simmons?
his ceiling is through the roof. Exactly. Yep.
Can he be Jeffrey Simmons?
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, and if I don't really know that a lot about Kevin Winston's college career, but if I'm not mistaken, his senior season or his last season in college, I guess I should say. I don't know if it was a senior or not, but was riddled with injuries, and he was injured during the draft.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
said he would have been a
But
first round pick if he wasn't injured.
I was gonna say before
Yeah.
he got injured, he was projected to be taken in the first round.
Yeah.
And I think he would have earned it had he got through. But injury is part of it. Availability is the best ability. So
Yep. 100%.
that
We
is
do
a
have
huge
some
part.
bright spots on the team. It's not all doom and gloom.
No, it's
There are
not.
some bright spots. We just need more of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, damn straight.
Speaking
Yeah.
of bright spots, score predictions.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I don't know. Mine's not very bright.
Man,
I don't-
38-10 Titans.
Oh wow. Here we go.
No.
Look at
Flip the
that.
score. Flip the score.
We got to
That's more
start
like
putting
it,
money
yeah.
on these.
Yeah, it's more
I
like
don't know, man. It's I just got a feeling we might lose by what Vegas is saying.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I like the Titans for about 17 points this week. I
We
don't
can't
see the
even get
Seahawks
10.
defense. I don't see the Seahawks defense being that good. I do think the Titans offense is starting to actually mesh. So I feel like they get 17 points this week. But I also feel like, Seahawks are going to score against us at will. So it's
Well,
going to be
aren't the
like
Seahawks
34,
averaging like
38.
26 or something?
Yeah, I still expect to get beat by over 20 points. So don't
Hopefully it
get
ain't
it
20.
twisted. I'm just saying that I think that the Titans are going to score about 17. I think it's going to be a pretty high scoring game personally.
Yeah, look, I came
What's
into
the
this.
what's the under over on it?
40 and a half.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna go over.
Yeah, that's what I said too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I really
see
came
the
into
Seahawks
this.
getting close to 30. So
I came into this wanting to pick like a 45-14 score, but then hold on, then I slapped myself in the face and said that's stupid. The Titans can't score 2 touchdowns. So
Ah,
now
we haven't. Oh man.
So now
I feel like they
I'm
gave us
mostly
that
kidding.
touchdown last week. I mean, I know it was
Yeah.
just one big play game's not
But see,
good
that's
enough.
the difference. That's the difference right there. And I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people call Cam Ward's stats garbage time stats. And that was not a garbage time play. Okay. They were still in the game. It was close enough to where they knew if we scored at that point, it was not good for them. It's not like they weren't trying. They're the number 1 defense in the NFL. So I can't take the fact that I can't take that away from those players that did.
Hey,
it
I mean,
that
they're
way.
up 20-16 on the Bills right now. So they're still a good football team. Like that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Oh
but
no,
yeah,
we always played Houston tough, regardless of record.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
You know?
But for me, score prediction, I do think Seahawks can score at will. I like a 38-13 game, unfortunately. But as always, like if I'm going to pick them to lose, I'm going to give you the route that I think they can win. And that to me is turnovers. You saw Darnold do it last week. 4 picks makes a huge difference in a game.
Oh, yeah.
If the Titans can find a way to force, I'm not saying 4, but if you find a way to pick off 2 balls, you keep yourself in the game. I think for the most part, the defense has struggled this year, but there was also times early in the season where they were giving the offense a chance.
They played their best game last week.
Yeah, and if the Titans are going to do this, like they can no longer do it in shootouts. I think that's been proven. You've got to make this a slow, grinding game. You've got to keep the ball out of Darnold's hands, keep him on the sideline. So if they do win, if they can find a way to make this happen, we're talking about like a 16-13 type game. You know what I'm saying? And then those people who were dumb enough to get the under, congratulations.
And I feel like with the Seahawks being so far away, our stadium's going to be really empty because there's not going to be a lot of other fans there.
I mean, yeah, but they're used to that. They're used to that. I
need our fans to show up and be loud for the boys. Come on, y'all.
Well, look, I think they should mitigate the Seahawks offense, but I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to stop them.
I just don't know if they can slow them down for 4 quarters.
I'll say this. If we are able to slow them down like we did the Texans, hats off to Denard Wilson.
Yeah,
that dude is a freaking magician if he can pull that off. If he can do that 2 weeks in a row, and I know Stills isn't great, but, I mean, come on now. He ain't playing bad tonight. He didn't play bad the week before us. So
quarterback pressure is everything Sunday.
Yep. I was going to say, if Darnell looks bad against us and doesn't put up a bunch of points, man, hats off to Darnold, man, excuse me, Denard, and it'll be interesting to see if, like I said, if he has any chance at all of being on the Titans next year.
Yeah. Right. And remember, too, I mean, JSN's going to get his yards. You know what I'm saying? Nico Collins got his yards. Like, there's not a lot of preventing that, but you can't let him get those yards on 3rd and long situations, 3rd and medium situations.
Oh, my God.
That's where you have to limit. That's what I'm saying. That's where this team gets beat. It's not the yards they give up on these good receivers. It's when they give those yards up.
Yeah.
Nico Collins catching first downs like a monster. So that's what you have to watch for. Cooper Kupp's the same way. You've got to limit them on those 3rd and medium to 3rd and long situations, and that's how you give yourself a chance.
I'm more afraid of our
Absolutely.
defense on 3rd and 15 than I am on 3rd and 3.
Exactly. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I
Because
have
they're
more
going to
faith in
pass
them
the
stopping
ball.
a
And,
3rd and 3 than I
Yep.
do a 3rd and 15.
Absolutely.
yeah, we're not the best tackling team, especially in open space. Anyway, we really appreciate you guys if you've held with us through this long. It seems that we have talked ourselves into a good circle around on the Seahawks. I think
Yep.
we're all hoping for a good game, but I think we're all realistic people and also thinking that it's probably going to be a blowout.
I hope
So
not.
yeah, me too, man. Me too. But
Just
like I
give me
said, if
good
you
football.
yeah, again, yeah, I'll be honest with you, dude. I enjoyed last game. Everybody
It
was
was fun,
upset
man.
with it.
Absolutely.
I
You gave,
enjoyed the last game.
like I said in the post game, give me a reason to watch the fourth quarter. That's all I ask.
Exactly.
Just give me a reason to watch the fourth quarter.
You got
Man,
it,
people
man.
were leaving in the 3rd quarter last week, bro.
Mhm.
I could
Yep.
not believe it, man. It was like,
I don't understand that. I don't,
It's crazy.
especially with a close game like that, man. Those aren't real fans. Those are people that
that
are just
last,
there because the tickets are cheap.
13 to whatever, 13 to 6 when they scored 30 and made it 13-6, people started leaving.
Oh,
Yep.
God. All right, guys.
Oh,
Again, thank you for hanging out with us. If you don't follow us on social media, you should follow us everywhere. We are growing immensely. We finally hit 700 on YouTube. We hit
Thank you.
15, 16, 1700 on TikTok. I don't know. We got a lot of
Congrats.
fans
Tighten
out
up.
there. We appreciate you guys. And until next time, tighten up.
Nope.
Tighten up.
Out.
Peace out.